Why does it matter if people judge you? I've asked myself this question more times than I can count. Not because I don't care what people think, but because no matter what I do, someone will always have an opinion. It made me wonder if trying to avoid judgment is even possible. If you talk too much, people say you're annoying. If you're quiet, they ask what's wrong with you. If you smile a lot, they'll think you're fake. If you don't smile enough, they'll think you're rude. It feels like there's always a reason for someone to criticize you. The same thing happens when you try. If you work hard, you're doing too much. If you don't try, you're lazy. If you chase your dreams, people will ask you to be realistic. But if you play it safe, they'll ask you why you're wasting potential. Sometimes it feels like you're playing a game where the rules change every single day. No matter which choices you make, someone will always think your choice was the wrong one. The truth is, I don't think there's a single person who's never judged someone else. Whether we admit it or not, we all make first impressions. We notice things, we make assumptions. Sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're completely wrong. Judging isn't really the problem, it's what we choose to do with those judgments that matter. An opinion is just an opinion until someone lets it define another person's worth. One of the hardest feelings is finally becoming confident enough to be yourself. Maybe you finally wear that outfit you've been nervous about. Maybe you get the haircut you've always wanted. Maybe you're just having a good day. But you notice in the corner over there, there's someone laughing. There's a group of people looking your way. Someone's whispering to another. Suddenly, your confidence disappears, even though you don't know if they were talking about you in the first place. Our minds have a funny way of turning uncertainty into certainty. We assume the worst because we're afraid of being rejected. The sad part is that most people have experienced that feeling. Almost everyone has. We walked into a room wondering if we really fit in. We spend so much time worrying about being judged that we forget someone else is worried about the exact same thing. People judge almost everything. Your clothes, your shoes, your phone, your music, your grades, your hobbies, your friends, even the way you laugh. Some people will even judge you because you're different. Others will judge you because you're the same as everyone else. There isn't a logical reason behind it. Social media only makes it easier. People can decide who they think are from a single picture for a 15-second video without... Social media only makes this easier. People can decide who they think you are from a single picture or 15-second video without knowing a single thing about your life. The internet gives everyone a voice, but it also gives everyone an opinion. Sometimes those opinions are helpful, and most of the time they're really just noise. If you spend your whole life trying to avoid criticism, you'll stop being yourself. You'll wear what other people like, you'll say what other people want to hear. Eventually, you won't even know who you're trying to be anymore. That's one of the biggest prices living for approval. You lose pieces of yourself without realizing it. I've realized that confidence isn't believing no one will judge you. Confidence is knowing that they probably will and you're still choosing to be yourself. The people who seem fearless aren't fearless because no one criticizes them. They're fearless because they stopped letting criticism decide who they are. The funny thing is, the people judging you really aren't thinking about it for you very long. They're busy worrying about what everyone else thinks of them too. Everyone is the main character in their own story. Most people are too focused on themselves to spend as much time thinking about you as you imagined. That doesn't mean hurtful words don't sting. They definitely do. Everyone gets hurt sometimes, but pain doesn't have to become permission to stop living the life you want. The opinions that matter should come from the people who genuinely care about you. Not from strangers who only know a tiny piece of your story, but your family or even some friends that you're really close with. Even then, no one gets to decide your value except you. Your worth doesn't increase because someone compliments you, and it doesn't disappear because someone doesn't like your outfit. One day you'll realize that the moments you almost skipped because of the fear would have become some of your favorite memories. Imagine missing opportunities, friendships, dreams, or even experiences just because you were worried about someone else's opinion. That's a heavy price to pay for approval you'll probably never receive anyways. I'd rather be remembered for being authentic than spending my whole life trying to fit into someone else's expectations. Truthfully, I was nervous to make this video because I know people will judge it too. Someone will think it's too long and some will think it's way too short. Someone will agree with it, and someone will not agree with it. Someone else will think it's too short. Someone will agree with it, and someone won't. That's exactly the point. So why does it matter if people judge you? Maybe it doesn't. Not as much as we think anyways. People will always have opinions, but they don't have to become your reality. At the end of the day, you're the one that has to live your life. If you're going to be judged no matter what, be judged for being yourself. I hope if you are watching this, it reminds you that someone else's opinion should never be louder than your own.